what is going on in the world right now has never happened in the history of the world. So the crash is bigger than I thought. So in March of 2020 was the biggest crash in world history of the stock market, but nobody knows anything about it because everybody's quarantined at home thinking about and social distancing and wearing face masks. So people are missing out on one of the biggest catastrophic cash heists in the history of the world. They don't even know what's happening. Now, the good news is, it's the good news and the bad news about money. This is the best time if you're ready for it. So I want you guys who are sitting at home, licking your wounds and wondering when you're going to go back to work and so you can get your lattes and cappuccinos and pizzas. Just know you might be missing one of the biggest opportunities in the history of the world because our governments have really screwed up. And I won't talk about conspiracy, but something's fishy about this crisis. There's something very fit. Why did they have to shut down the whole damn world? And I think it's because they're covering up something very, very big. And I love crypto. I don't have any. I have a little bit, but the reason I like crypto is for one reason. It's outside the system. It doesn't depend on the Fed, the Federal Reserve Bank, or the Treasury, or Wall Street. Could you explain how Bitcoin is separate from the Fed, the Treasury, and Wall Street? That's the reason I endorse it. I don't trust those guys. If you trust them, buy mutual funds, right?
So first thing to realize is Bitcoin is a digital currency, which is kind of strange because if me and you wanted to make a digital currency, what does that even mean, right? Do you control some ledger, some Excel sheet that has how much we both have? So Bitcoin came around using this blockchain technology so that both of us actually control the same ledger. The same source of record is controlled by both of us. And later on, that ledger grew to thousands and thousands of other operators. And all Bitcoin is a history of the transactions from different keys. So as long as I have a 64-digit key, that stores money. And I could use that key to send you money, and you could use your key and send other people money. Nobody controls it. Nobody can just stop it, right? I can just ban Bitcoin. There's no way you can ban Bitcoin. So it's floating out there across borders. There's no borders for Bitcoin, but it's being traded for other assets. It's actually the biggest asset to trade into other cryptocurrencies. So when we say that it cannot be governed or there's no policy around Bitcoin, there's just simply no way to control it.
As the governments right now all over the world are printing literally trillions of dollars, and they're trying to pay off debt that's denominated in dollars. So that means the US dollar gets stronger because they need dollars to pay off the debt. And when you heard that they were printing trillions of dollars, as a Bitcoin person, what goes through your mind? Is that good or bad for you?
If you are heavy in Bitcoin, it is good for you because Bitcoin has been inversely correlated with the dollar in terms of the dollar compared to the other basket of currencies. So if the dollar crashes or goes bad, Bitcoin is going to go up historically. That's just how it's happened.
I don't consider Bitcoin, gold, or silver investments. I consider them insurance policies against the idiots running the Fed, the Treasury, and Wall Street. And they're a bunch of criminals as far as I'm concerned because they're printing trillions of dollars at the same time causing billions of people to go unemployed. So as a crypto guy, what would you say to somebody who thinks this is a bad time? Why is it a good time for you guys?
Well, we actually analyze not every cryptocurrency, the major cryptocurrencies on a milestone basis. So in different month periods, we actually predict kind of what prices each coin is going to go. And over the long run, it gets harder and harder to analyze, obviously. Even with the fears and we don't know when people are coming back, it's getting harder to project almost any asset. But if you do have a thesis that the dollar is going to decrease in value compared to other currencies, if you go by that thesis, Bitcoin will eventually, should go up in the long term. Cryptocurrencies as a whole, we can get into that. It's a whole ecosystem out there. Also, it starts benefiting from the decentralization of governments and their policies as well. Originally, we're going to back it as one currency. Now it's going to be multiple currencies tied to each currency in the country. So USD coin, you'll have a pound coin, a euro coin. That's one model, right? The other model is the China model, where they say this is going to be China's currency. And we are going to distribute it through all our tech companies. They already have Tencent involved, they have Alibaba, and all their biggest banks, they're all involved in distributing this currency. And the question is like, how is this going to change the world? How is this going to affect other cryptocurrencies, right? And how it will affect them is a little more unclear, other than the fact that it does provide another means to get to outside of the system. Because what we're talking about right now is still a centralized system, either from the top down, which is China going down to the people, or Facebook and up, right? Going from the people to the governments. Now, Facebook is running into huge resistance from other governments from going across borders. China just does what China wants. They say, we want a currency, we're going to make it.
The reason I support gold, silver, Bitcoin, I support anything that's outside the system. You know, if you notice, I'm kind of a rebel in that way, but it took me going to Vietnam to kind of wake up, you know, that we're being lied to by our own government. So when we come back with Bitcoin, I want to talk to, the key thing here is that anybody who is in either gold, silver, or Bitcoin, we're basically rebels. You know, we refuse to have a muzzle put on us and let alone like a dog on the street with social distancing. I think that's really the key component there. The reason I like gold and silver is I don't trust my government. That's plain and simple it. And so that's why once I understood it, as little as I do about Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's open source. It means the Fed cannot mess with it, nor can the Treasury, nor can a politician. And that's kind of why I endorse both products. Because people wanted us to just do as I'm told and accept what they give us, you know, and save money. And that's why lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad is the rich don't work for money. And I've always said savers are losers. Why would you save something they're printing? It makes no sense to me.